Welcome to Charts Today Energy. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 19th of November, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the energy mix. We see crude is up, but most European products are quite heavily down. We're seeing some very big falls in gas and power this morning. Just taking a quick look at the macro, dollar remains strong, has just fallen away a little bit over the last few days, so it's in short-term bearish mode, which means the euro is in short-term bullish mode. Against the yen, we're seeing the dollar falling, and that's normally our heads up there. Remembering this is my long-term, my medium-term, and my short-term view. So sterling is looking stronger against that weaker dollar, but still in bearish territory. And against the euro, sterling is also bearish after last week's fall. So not managing to recover there. And against the Swiss franc, we're sitting at 128, so still bearish there as well. US markets fared a little bit better on Friday. We saw the Dow Jones was up 0.5%. Most markets in Europe and Asia are up today, and gold is slightly down. We're seeing gold sitting at this 1220 level, but still bullish on the short-term chart. Looking at crude oil, we're up 0.5% on Brent this morning. We see that we had this quite good recovery. We've unwound some of that just in the last hour, so not looking as strong as we were. The short-term targets for Brent, keep an eye on those 1-minute charts. We're seeing here we've got some small upside targets and a big downside target. If we move below that 66.30 level, we activate that downside target to 62.30, so that's 7% lower. And given the big falls we have seen in the oil price, it's not impossible that that would happen. Looking at WTI, again, a similar picture here. Strong recovery this morning, negatively correlated with the dollar as we would expect both on the daily and on the 60-minute charts. We do have this massive downside target for WTI if we take out the low that we've seen recently. So we need to hold that low point to be confident of a recovery in crude prices. Taking a look at NatGas, it was very volatile last week. We really saw wild gyrations in the price. It went to nearly $5, came back to $4, and then settled now at $4.60. So we have seen this dramatic moves. We're just falling away a bit this morning, but US NatGas all over the place. Looking at heating oil, much the same picture as crude oil as you would expect. Downside targets there. And RBOB also looking a little bit better than heating oil, and just actually managing to move into short-term bullish territory. API2 is down 1% this morning at 84.25. Remembering this pricing is coming to you from Thomson Reuters Icon. If you're running Trayport on your screen, you will see slightly different targets, but we do have these downside targets of 82, 83. They've been sitting there. We talked about those last week. We're now heading very much to those target levels. So keep an eye on that 1-minute chart. Looking at emissions this morning, down 2%. So we saw already at the open this morning, we've just really pulled right back. We've got downside targets here, so emissions now looking a lot weaker, and we're just starting to roll over and looking at that daily chart back to negative territory. So we are short-term bearish, just coming through the cloud now. MBP is the big one this morning, down 6.5% on the front month contract, and really just came from nowhere. So we've really seen that big falls this morning, and TTF also down 6.5% this morning. So really significant falls there as well. No clear targets on this one, so really key that. German power is down 3%, corresponding to those falls that we're seeing across the board. And so at the moment, all bets are off on the rise, and we need to see new thrusts from here to produce upside or downside targets. So again, quite a difficult call after this move. We do have some downside targets here on German power, and it does look like we're coming off a top here on the longer term chart. Looking at Dutch power, we see also this morning we're down 4%, so looking worrying there as well. And Polish power down 2% as well. That's it for today. Keep an eye on those 1-minute charts. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.